escape from the team. Hold the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott. Welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Thursday, January 22nd, getting late into the month and late in the week here as we get ready for a great sports weekend with UFC and NFL and also some golf action getting underway today. Just going to have the American Express tournament here this week. We'll get your opinions here maybe on some golf. I did hit a big one last week. I'll be coming in with some more long shots this week. Why not? I already heard some say, hey, taking more long shots, I guess you're going to hit one of them. Well, when the winner of this tournament, basically in 6 of the last 7 years, has been at 55 to 1 or more, you're going to go with some long shots this week. Don't want to be hanging out at the top of the odds board there at 3 to 1 with the superstar. You want to be hitting the board a little bit deeper here this week. I mean, if you want to take Scotty, that's fine, but this has always been another one of the tournaments where the long shot has come home. So I'm going to be coming in on the long shots here this week on the PGA Tour. And you can get my picks for today's PGA Tour event starting here in the just a couple of hours here right now when you go to winnable.com/Ramon and sign up for my free picks over there. I've already loaded up my favorite 7 golfers this week, coming off that 65 to 1 last week. And yeah, pretty much all of my picks are right around that range between 30 to 1 and I think 150 to 1. Again, like I said, this tournament has been all long shots here over the last several years at the American Express. So when that's coming home, you're going to want to come in again here and stay away from that chalk here this week with Scotty or whoever else you want to look at here. Scotty makes his debut this week, but you do have some other names there. It's right around the funny. He's basically 3 to 1. Then you're going to get into some of the other names, but after that, you're looking at 20 to 1 or greater. So just steer clear of Scotty. If Scotty wins, good luck to him. You probably get the same price on him midway through the round if he just throws in one regular round. So you know how it works with Scotty each week on the board. And see what you guys are up to here, getting ready for the action this weekend. Going to be a great sports weekend. Of course, we will have live companion stream coverage here on the Sports Money Network on Saturday with the UFC, the first ever event on Paramount Plus. You guys already have Paramount Plus, so get ready as we have the fight card here this week with some great bouts, and you can get ready for this weekend's action when you go over to the tab over here at Sports Money and check out VB MMA picks here for our weekend fight card. Of course, that main event with Paddy Pimblett here today going up against Justin Gaethje in the interim lightweight championship on Saturday, of course, there. And we also previewed the co-main event here this week with O'Malley and Song Yadong. So make sure you check that one out as well as we get ready for the action here this week. And we also going to have our other coverage up from the guys as well with uh, First Strike here. And I think it might debut today or tonight. I'm not sure if it has just yet, but we'll have great coverage here. Make sure you join us this weekend and check out VB MMA Picks. Okay. All right, thank you everybody for joining me here on the morning steam. Let's say hello to some folks in the chat and just start to get ready for our coverage here today. There are three daytime basketball games in anticipation of the weather and some travel considerations. Three games have been moved to day games here just to avoid, I guess there's going to be some uh, rough weather here coming up. A significant snow and ice storm apparently is going to impact parts of the United States this weekend. I think they moved the game to help the travel to get back and return home ahead of the storm here on some of these. So the ASUN conference office announced that they move some of these contests to day games to avoid some in travel inconveniences. So we'll try to. I think I'll cover one of those. We'll see if we can get to the other ones. They're not great games. Just one of them was pretty close here. So. All right. Also, just moments ago, really, let me announce these here. The NFL did announce their finalists for the awards here for the NFL this season. This happened within the last 15 or 20 minutes or so, maybe at the top of the hour there with the great host there on the NFL coverage. MVP, Stafford, May, Allen, McCaffrey, and Lawrence. Coach of the Year, Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen, Mike McDonald, Kyle Shanahan, and Mike Vrabel. Assistant Coach of the Year, Brian Flores, Clint Kubiak, Vic Fangio, Josh McDaniels, and Vance Joseph. Offensive Player of the Year, Puka Nakua, Bijan Robinson, Christian McCaffrey, Jackson Smith, and Jigba and Drake May. Interesting, McCaffrey in that other category as well, that this one doesn't include quarterbacks. He's in this one too. Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, Will Anderson, Aiden Hutchinson, and Nick Benito. Comeback Player of the Year, Dak Prescott, Christian McCaffrey, Stephon Diggs, Trevor Lawrence, and Aiden Hutchinson. And Offensive Rookie of the Year, Tedero McMillan, Tyler Shuck, Emeka Ibuka, Travion Henderson, and Jackson Dart. And Defensive Rookie of the Year, Carson Schweisinger, James Pierce Jr., Xavier Watts, Abdul Carter, and Nick Manwari. All right, we've got some steam rolling in here to get our show started as well. Lots of steam here this morning in this mid-major college basketball card. So let's hear it from you here right now. I'm going to get these picks out. Hopefully my voice will make it through the show here. Think we can fix it. Deep breath. Monroe and Marshall, we're seeing some steam here to the under in this one with Monroe and Marshall. These are teams, they produced some overs this season. It's a high total, but it's moving lower here right now with Monroe and Marshall. Total here was 160.5. We're seeing this steam come in right now, and Monroe and Marshall taking the steam here in this one. This is actually at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. This is top of the board now. This is the one-time change here in this one on the main board. This game has moved to noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and the steam just came in. So it actually begins in 2.5 hours at Marshall. Monroe at Marshall, total down here to 157.5 on some widely reported steam that just came in a short time ago. Also, just as we were coming on the air, some steam came in here on Tennessee Tech and Lindenwood. Steam to the over in this one. It was 150 here on some of the openers, but we're seeing the steam come in on the over now with Tennessee Tech and Lindenwood, and we're up to 152 right now in that one as the steam came in on the over with Tennessee Tech and Lindenwood. Also, Tennessee State and Edwardsville steamed to the under this morning in this one, and it was 145, but we're down here moving lower in this one right now with Tennessee State and Lindenwood. It's down to 143, about a 2-point move there in that one. And speaking of moves, the market is open, and man, we're looking good again today. Hope you guys were, I don't know, I mean, you guys probably thought the same thing, but hope you bought the dip there when we talked about it 2 days ago before everyone went to Davos and had a powwow last night. I said, you got to buy this dip. Here we go again. President opens his mouth, throws a few threats out there, then gets everybody together, says, hey, I was just kidding. Let's work together. And we saw the Board of Peace last night. Anybody see the board? I mean, actually, it was just about 2 hours ago or so. The Board of Peace saw many members of the Board of Peace, and now the markets are reacting positively still again today, just as they did yesterday. And look at this thing up here, already up 2/3, and I'm showing booming here early on with some of these numbers right now. S&P coming off their best day since November, so let's win today here. Got to pick up the winners a little bit for me yesterday. So let's continue on with some of this steam, though, that rolled in here this morning as I was prepping for the to come on the air. Tennessee State and Edwardsville, mentioned that one there, down to 143. Western Illinois and Moorhead, some steam to the under here in this one with Western Illinois and Moorhead. Right now, this one down to, just 139. So just a small move there from 140.5, 1.5 move to the under. Western Illinois and Moorhead seeing some steam here to the under. Also, Hofstra and North Carolina A&T seeing some steam here. In this one between Hofstra and North Carolina A&T. So stick with me here on the morning steam as we get rolling with the moves here today. And we're seeing that one was 148.5 right now, and then was 148.5 between Hofstra and North Carolina A&T, and right now we're seeing that one here, as I said, moving lower here with this one. Right now it's at 147, so that one did actually open as high as 150.5, so we're seeing at least a 3.5 point move in that one with Hofstra and North Carolina A&T to the under. This one's just in right now. The Camels taking some steam here in this one. They were 4-point dogs against College of Charleston, and Campbell's taking that steam here right now. They're down to a 3-point dog here on the morning steam show. And let's see here. Also, just moments ago, a short time ago, NJIT taking the steam in their matchup with Maryland, Baltimore County. NJIT was getting 8.5 from UMBC, and the steam came in there, and now it's all the way down to 6 here. NJIT took some steam here this morning in their matchup with Maryland, Baltimore County. Also, Quinnipiac and Mount St. Mary's. You saw some steam coming in here in this one with Quinnipiac and Mount St. Mary's. Steam to the under. These two teams have produced a couple of unders for sure this season, more than a couple, if you know what I mean. Steam to the under here with Quinnipiac and Mount St. Mary's. We're seeing that total move. Did move already lower. This one was a short time ago, actually, but it did move down here from 147.5 down to 146.5. We're not going to carried away there, but steam to the under with Quinnipiac. And it was 148.5 down to 146.5. That one might have got dummied up a little bit. The move there came in on the under. Also, here, UL Lafayette and Appalachian State, some steam to the under there. Again, two teams that like to go under for sure. UL Lafayette and Appalachian State, and that one has moved lower here this morning to 120. 2.5. Their 1.5 point move for UL Lafayette and Appalachian State. Some steam came in on the under there in that one. Also, man, there were a lot here. What was I doing? Merrimack and Iona here. Full disclosure, this one will be previewed here a short time in short order here, but steam came in on the under in that one between Merrimack and Iona, and we're seeing that one move here right now to it did move anyway to 141. It was as high as 145.5. Here comes a move in right now, and it's let's see here. Make sure we get this one right. Oh, this one was earlier here. Texas State and Coastal Carolina took some steam here on the over at 140 there. And was that one Texas State and Coastal Carolina, only 141 here, 1 point move there. I think we'll start to wrap it up if we're not going to see big movement here this morning. Georgia State also took some steam here this morning against Southern Miss. Georgia State here was let's call it pick'em there on the opener, and it went up to maybe a 1.5 here with Georgia State. Let me start to say hello to some folks here, and then maybe we'll fold in a few more if we get it. Here we go. Say hello to everyone, and we'll talk about some of the games from yesterday. We're here real quick. Nice manageable cards today here. 8 games in the NBA, 8 in the NHL, and I've got 7 or 8 lined up in college basketball. All right, who's here? Who's ready to go?
Steam play.
I don't know if I am here right now. But we did just see some steam here moments ago in the game between. You heard it. Golden State and Dallas steam to the over right now. Just came in here. You heard it in the background. This one was as low as 232 on the overnights, but the steam is coming on the over big time here with Golden State and Dallas, and we're up to 235 here right now in that one. That's at least a 3-point move on the overnights there with the Warriors and the Mavericks. Could Klay Thompson find his way back to Golden State here? You know, he's been uncomfortable in Dallas. Golden State's going to need some help. What are the Warriors going to do now with Jimmy Butler out, and they need a little bit more to get through if they're going to have any kind of run here? Good morning to Nuke here. He's all ready to go with these 48 games. We might cover them all here on the Steam before we get going. Of course, Fap Win is here. He's got Oral and Moorhead. Come on, Fap. You don't really have this parlay. I'm going to stop the show right now. No way does Fap have Oral and Moorhead in a first half money line parlay. I think he does. I'm sure it's a coincidence. And forgive me for my old man dirty mind here, but Fap Win goes with Oral and Moorhead, everybody. And I think we should have a standing ovation, actually. Johnny Walker here. Hey, Johnny Walker's here. He's ready to get that money. Blake is here. Good morning. And Greg is here today celebrating the winners. Personal account. Good morning and hello. Here we're driving that train. We're here we go. Andrew K. Talking about some of the awards there. It seems like Bobby Mack is here. Bobby Mack just missed my card this week. I was on Bobby last week, and he certainly got consideration from me from my top 7. I just thought his odds were a little bit too low this week. I guess you could, if you get Bobby Mack at 30-1, you'll be okay. I think this week to play him here. 20-1, I might be hesitant, but at 30-1 or higher. And again, some of the books vary a little bit. I wouldn't mind taking McIntyre here this week. Here, just referencing our own Bobby Mack, but let me get one steam move in here. Missouri State is moving right now in their matchup. Missouri State taking on New Mexico State. Missouri State was getting 8 points overnight here, but this one's moved considerably here right now, and we're seeing this one all the way down to 5 here, one of the biggest moves on the board with Missouri State, and they're taking even more action here right now on the morning steam, all right? And Textiles is here ready to go today. Also, Terrell, he's put the Bucks on the do not bet list here. And Giannis did have that incredible shot though the other day where he put up an offensive rebound, and the way he put it up, it kind of crawled up the rim, and he sat there on the ground. That was a good shot. Fernando is here. Good morning to Fernando. Let's see, personal account talking about the Austin P total. That is also one of the games this morning. Let me also cover those here real quick. We're going to preview the Austin P game. I don't think that total. Let me get that off the screen there. Actually, the total is not the total for sure. There, Austin P here 155.5. But let me tell you so we just mentioned Monroe and Marshall as the two games. The other two games that are moved to that one's moved to noon. And the two games that are moved to 1 p.m. are Stetson and Lipscomb and Florida Gulf Coast and Austin P. We will preview the Florida Gulf Coast and Austin P, but personal account just got that one. I think he was looking at something else there. That total is like 155.5. All right. Good morning to M the Great. Hey, everyone. Like this video. Subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. Fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube, aren't we? Yeah, the naysayers will say no, but they don't know. We'll keep it going here every time with our coverage here on the Sports Money Network. All right, Blake, no doubt, Blake, we are going to have some cancellations here this weekend for sure. If they're doing things like this, moving a couple games up, probably going to have a few games that just aren't going to be able to make it. VAR is here. Good morning. And our Tomps as well. Thank you, guys. Hey, I was hoping to bring home more better news here with some of my winners yesterday, but man, I had some rough times there. I got swept in the Champions League. Did have some winners here on the show yesterday with Cavaliers and Hornets game to go under. We had the Boston Celtics. I had the Boston Celtics there to rock over Indiana yesterday. You know we had that. Also, Nets in Brooklyn under we had yesterday. That was a disgrace there for the Brooklyn Nets right now. Yes, the Knicks had the players, the team meeting before the game, and they came out with vengeance for sure. But for Brooklyn to be stuck on, what were they, on 47 or 48 points there late in the third? I mean, what was going on with that game there last night? That was really bad. Also here we have more morning steam winners. The winners were here on the show for sure. We almost swept the board yesterday with the morning steam plays. We also had New Orleans there yesterday plus the points, and we had the Atlanta Hawks over the Grizzlies there yesterday plus a couple of points there as well. And we also came through there late, I think, with the that was it. But we just went 5-2 here on the morning steam. There also on Wednesday in the NHL, we had winners here. We had the Red Wings as our morning steam winner yesterday. We also had Pittsburgh and Calgary game to go under. We had the Islanders and the Kraken game to go under, and we had Capitals and Canucks to go over, to go 4-2 yesterday on the show. So supposed to be the other way around. We're supposed to win the premiums, and maybe if we win some, lose some, but the show picks were quite good actually, and there was also some exciting college basketball action yesterday, including San Diego State did lose there yesterday. We had on the show here yesterday, Grand Canyon to beat San Diego State. A little bit of a controversial call there at the end of the game, but the Aztecs, they had a fierce comeback at the end, and it fell short. there, and Grand Canyon gets the win, handing San Diego State their first loss in Mountain West competition as Makai Williams hit 2 free throws with 1 second left, and GCU won despite uh, not able to hit a basket in their final 8 possessions. San Diego State had a 20-7 run at the end of the game to wipe out a 12-point deficit. But the Aztecs were outscored. They went 9 minutes with 1 basket. That's what happens sometimes to this team, and also their best player missing with those hip issues, Magoon Gua. So that's going to have to be fixed, and this has been plaguing him already throughout his career. Miles Bird didn't even get a field goal in that game. So LZ Harrington looked pretty good with 7 of 10 shooting to keep San Diego State in there, but San Diego State's never won at Grand Canyon. Also, how about Nebraska 19-0 with the win there? When you got Nebraska's 19-0 in basketball, Indiana's won the national championship in football. I know the world's upside down right now. Creighton over Xavier 94-93 as the Blue Jays rebound a missed foul shot and scored at the buzzer for the win there yesterday. Xavier looked good too. That was a good game. Florida Atlantic on top of the American with a 6-1 record following their win over Tulane yesterday, 79-74. FAU, man, they are a young team. They might not get there this year, and we'll see if players go elsewhere. But this is a team that they could go back, not this year, but they might end up being a crazy team here in the years to come, because that is a young lineup, and they're clutch too. Texas lost to Kentucky 85-80. The game was tied. We were on Kentucky here, but Kentucky's won their last 4 games, all of a sudden scoring 83 points. So all that criticism about Kentucky, here come the Cats. They'll rock you. And it was Texas getting the cover, however, in that game in the 85-80 win for Kentucky. Texas was actually getting 7 points. IU Indy back on pace with their scoring. They scored 103 against Oakland. Good finish, Citadel over Furman 77-75, and Gonzaga rocked Pepperdine, but Graham Ike missed another game. The Gonzaga has defeated Pepperdine in 51 straight games. 51 straight games. Gonzaga's beaten Pepperdine. Not the all-time record, but it's getting close. UCLA defeated Cal 52 straight times between 1961 and 1986, but eventually here Gonzaga will pass. I don't think they're going to lose to Pepperdine anytime soon, but I think the series ends, and they'll have to with Gonzaga, I think, going to the Mountain West, I think the series is about to end. They might play one more time and end up on 52 unless they schedule. And I don't see any reason why Gonzaga would go out of their way to schedule Pepperdine in the future. So that one could end right on 52. Interesting. UL Monroe just took some steam here right now in the background in their matchup today with Marshall. We just talked about the total in that game, and now UL Monroe. You've got a side in total if you want to roll with the steam. We said the steam came in on the under, and now here it comes in on Monroe. And this once 18.5 point spread is down to 17 right now at Bet Online. Steam coming in here on UL Monroe. All right, a few more hellos, and let's start with the games here today. And let's see, Bobby Mack in there, had a Carabag there. Terrell says, how about Queens College? They're doing it again too. This team's look pretty good. Cash Kane here, talking about the Ducks. Greg, thank you, Greg, for all your contributions. No problem. You've been doing us a solid. So if you need some time away, if you don't feel any commitments here to be with us, but we love seeing those predictions and picks from everyone. So thank you again, man. What a run it's been here. Public Enemy, good morning. Hello, thank you. And about ready to go here, I think, with the show. Let's get it rolling here with our NBA coverage. Let's start off here in the NBA for Thursday, and we'll go right to it with the Nuggets taking on the Wizards here to get the cards started. You got the Nuggets here, a favorite on the road at 5.5, and the total 230.5 here in this one with Denver heading to the Wizards here. A little bit of a mismatch for sure, but uh, Washington is able to get some covers here anyway at home, and we know Denver, piecing it together a little bit with some injuries here to their star, and uh, Washington definitely capable of throwing in a clunker, but Denver's won 7 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams. However, Denver is just 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games against the Wizards overall. Denver has covered 6 of their last 7 on the road. The Wizards come in here with a 7-game losing streak. They've also just gone 2-5 ATS in their last 7 games overall. 8 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Denver already won the first meeting at home, 121-115, is a 10.5 point favorite, just about a week ago. So it was Washington that got the money in that one. In fact, Washington won both meetings last season, and well, they covered the spread in the last one. So Washington's kind of been the money team of these two, ironically, over the last couple of meetings here, last 2 seasons anyway. Can they keep it up again and get the money here against Denver here today? Take a look at the injury report. I think it's relatively clean here for the most part. Got uh, Murray is probable here. Valanciunas, so he's questionable. Brown is still out for the Nuggets as well. For Washington here, guys are questionable, and this falls into the Mikey Money theory a little bit, though. You got role players here, but A.J. Johnson, questionable with an illness. Marvin Bagley, questionable with an illness. Chris Middleton, questionable with an illness. You know what he says? You got 1, you got 2, you got 3 guys ill. Everyone's probably ill on this team. Also, Kulabai is questionable with a back injury, and Vukcevic is out as well. No sign of Trey Young yet. Cam Whitmore out for the rest of the season. So Washington does have some issues here, but so does Denver, a couple of them here anyway. Let's hear from you in the chat if you'd like. Denver's 15-9 against the spread on the road. Washington just 16-3 ATS as an underdog, despite some of those positive numbers in this series anyway. So let's hear from you maybe in the chat with this one. If we kick off our NBA coverage here for Thursday. And let's see, is this total still 230 or is it a little bit higher right now? It's down to 229 here at some books. Here, I like the over in this one actually as my play. I'm going to go over with the Nuggets and the Wizards here at 239.5. The first meeting was 236, but it did go over. The total on that day was 227.5. But like I said, this one's gone down a little bit here. I'm going to go over in this one. All right, Greg says a fishy line with Denver coming off of a loss there. Yeah, definitely. And but Denver here, still laying these points. And look, they've been great, as we've talked about, without Jokic. They have lost 2 in a row to the Lakers and to Charlotte, and they failed to cover in 3 straight. Personal accounts with me, we're going over. Now, the Wizards, as bad as they are, they have covered the last 2 games anyway. Before, they weren't covering any of these games. They actually had lost and failed 5 straight, but in their last 2 losses, they actually did cover the spread. Here's our Thompson on the Nuggets. The Gibson ratings here says, I think the Gibson ratings say go over. And that's it from you guys, and I'm taking the over as well. Okay, the Hornets are taking on the Magic here. NBA action for Thursday. The Magic are returning home following their overseas trip there. Their two games with the Memphis Grizzlies, where they split them. They won the first one, remember, in Orlando, Germany. uh, Almost a home game for them there, it felt like. Meanwhile, they lost the game in London to Memphis. So they have had a few days off here to recover, 3 days here to get ready for the Hornets. And the Hornets come in here off of a game last night at home where they could only score a dismal 87 points in a 94-87 loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, Charlotte did beat Denver before that, remember, in a stunning fashion, 110 to 8. They held Denver to 87, and they scored 87 there. But last night they had the ball game there, and they could only score 87 in the loss to Cleveland. So for Charlotte, they're still a great cover. Uh, 21-15 ATS as a dog in Orlando, 12-19 against the spread as a favorite uh, here. But Charlotte, look, I know they had that clunker, man, but everyone's talking about this team and the momentum that they can put together here right now. I really want to see it first. I mean, this team's still 16-28. Maybe I'm watching the wrong shows, but everyone's talking to Charlotte like they're about to go on a run. But when is it going to start? Anyway, and yes, maybe the here against Orlando. I mean, you'd think, like I said, Orlando, they're not great at covering spreads, and Charlotte's at least good at covering spreads. Maybe I'm disillusioned because they're actually a money making team this season, talking about the Charlotte Hornets. And again, with Orlando, despite being 23-19, they're 17-25 against the spread. They don't cover the spread very well despite their winning ways. Orlando's just 5-12 ATS in their last 17 games overall. Now, Charlotte is just 1-5 straight up and against the spread in their last 6 games against Orlando, but that win came back in December as Charlotte won at Orlando 120-105 as a 5.5 point dog in that one. This is kind of a home dominated series for the most part, but right now Orlando has had the upper hand. Charlotte's covered 11 of their last 16 overall, just almost exactly the opposite of Orlando when it comes to covering the spread. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Although Charlotte's gone over in 4 of their last 6, Orlando's gone over in 4 of their last 5 games at home. Let's hear from you in the chat, maybe with this one on Orlando tonight. Taking on the Hornets here. I'm on the under for sure in this game. I mean, feels like the way we're seeing some of these teams score could be in the 80s here a little bit, but let's not get carried away. Still, I'm going to take the under here with Charlotte and Orlando. They haven't been scoring 80 that often, but they sure did last night. Charlotte here, they're going to turn around against the Magic on the road today. I'm going with the under. Let's go to the chat and see what you have here on this one. Public Enemy is going to be on the Magic here. Personal accounts on the under. VAR is going to take the under here right now. And Nine Legacies joining us today. Robert McCormick's on the Hornets here. R. Tops is on the Hornets. Kripke says, take the Magic. The Gibson rating here is, I think that is Hornets there in the over. Robert's on the under here with me, it looks like. Nine Legacy Hornets on the spread. And what is it? I mean, what is it, Terrell? Why are people talking about the Hornets like they're about to go on a run here? Maybe they are. Maybe this team, they certainly have the talent to be, I almost want to say better than they are. But again, when you're, when you're 16-28 and you're 20, straight up and 25-19 against the spread, that means you're still underrated. And of course, we like our teams that are, good against the number. Greg says it's got to be a little bit of a weird number there. He likes Charlotte as well. I'm going to take the under here as my play. All right, Hakeem Olajuwon and the Houston Rockets take on Charles Barkley and the Philadelphia 76ers. I wish. All right, let's get into this one here with the Rockets and the Sixers here today with the Rockets going to be favored here on the road. Is that right? Let me take a look at this one here. Yeah, it's up to 2 even, and the total is at 221, but let's make it 2 here right now. Stand by here, gang. Okay. 2 and 221 here with the Rockets on the road, taking on the Sixers here tonight. And got Houston coming in here 26 and 15. Philadelphia, nice strong 23 and 19 right now. Houston maybe getting back to their winning ways. They're another team. You talk about some of those teams that had a little bit of a rough go. Houston definitely dipped down there a little bit for a while. Sengun was out. They kind of took a while to get back to the winning. Hey, Hawaii's getting steamed right now in the late game tonight at midnight Eastern and 9 Pacific in their game against Bakersfield tonight on the island. And Hawaii here was a 15-point favorite, but they are up to 16 here for the most part. Could even move a little bit more. Hawaii in the late game, taking some steam here right now on the morning steam show. So Houston with consecutive wins here over Minnesota, New Orleans, and San Antonio. A couple of nice wins in there. Philadelphia, meanwhile, coming off that loss to Phoenix, 116 to 110 there the other night. Sacred Heart is taking some steam here right now in their matchup here today with Canisius. Sacred Heart opened around a 9-point favorite. They're getting steamed right now in their game against Canisius, and Sacred Heart is now a 10.5-point favorite tonight against Canisius. We're talking NBA basketball here with the Rockets and the Sixers, and I want to hear from you folks in the chat in this one, but I'll tell you, for Houston here, even though they have come back here to win 3 in a row, covering 2 of those, they failed against New Orleans as a 13.5-point favorite, winning just by 9. But Houston still just 2-8 ATS in their last 10 games overall. They have won 4 of their last 5, but failed to cover in 3 of those. Houston just 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games against the Sixers. Phillies won just 2 of their last 6 games. Those wins were against Toronto and Indiana. They're 2-4 straight up in ATS in their last 6 overall. This series has gone over in 6 straight games between these two teams. And also, Philly's gone over in 6 of their last 8 at home. However, Houston's gone under in 10 of their last 11 games coming into this one. Wow. And this total has dropped here a little bit this morning. I'm showing some openers as high as 224. So let's see what you have in this one. This one's definitely on the move lower here with Houston and Philadelphia today. And these two teams have not yet played this season. But like I said, Houston now, they were once an over team, not so much anymore after kind of this little streak here. But let's see what you have. Again, Philadelphia, they were a better cover. They've started to give some back, obviously. Remember, they were like a hot team for a while, but then they started not covering some spreads at home. They're actually 10-13 now ATS at home, although 9-7 ATS as a dog. So Houston isn't covering anything here of late. Let me hear from you in the chat with this one, with Houston and Philly here tonight. Here we go in the chat right now, and Nine Legacy says the Hornets are starting to figure out those good play. Robert was also maybe on the Hornets there. And yeah, don't forget that when Barkley was in Houston there, right? The Gibson ratings here likes Houston to get this one. Here's 9 Legacy on the Sixers. Greg says you can't trust Philly. And oh, look at that. Lowest total on the board in this one. Great point right there, 9 Legacy. Look, uh, I don't know, kind of that's where I want to go, but I like Philly here, and I was gonna probably take Philly. I want to save the total maybe as a premium, but it's going pretty low here right now. Maybe I got to get on it now, but um, let's see, keep going with you guys in the chat here, and let's see here. Greg said Philly was favored yesterday, or favored in their last game there, right, against Phoenix. I thought that they were an underdog in that game, actually. R. Thompson's on the Sixers here. Robert likes Houston, though, so yeah, we're having some two-way action here in this one. All right. And I'm going to take the Sixers here. I think you heard me say it. So look, it's gone lower. Maybe it won't make my premium list. I'm going to save it here. Hopefully, it doesn't go too much lower. But yeah, you know what? If you hear my voice there a little bit, if you can make it through the raspy voice. Here, I'm going to take the Sixers here, but yeah, I think this total would be continuing to go lower. Maybe, and not necessarily, I don't think much in the injury department here with this one. Steven Adams out, Paul George questionable, Embiid probable. So we'll see. Maybe it was PG maybe not playing. I don't know. The line here has moved a little bit in Houston's favor maybe, but I'm going to take the Sixers here tonight. All right. And Greg says if Durant plays, take Houston. All right, next up, the Warriors here are at the. Let me get a couple of steam moves in here. We just came in. UTEP here is getting steamed right now. UTEP in their matchup here today with Florida International. UTEP was a 2-point dog here, but right now they've just taken some steam against FIU, and we're seeing UTEP here right now down to a 1-point dog here. Maybe it'll even go to a pick'em. UTEP just took the steam here just moments ago, and James Madison, JMU, taking the steam in their matchup with South Alabama. James Madison was a 3.5-point favorite, and right now James Madison here has moved to a 4.5-point favorite. All right, we got a little bit of breaking news here also. I thought I saw this and I wasn't sure. So also one more game has moved to noon Eastern and 9 Pacific. We've already talked, same conference here, so they're trying to avoid this weather. UL Lafayette and Appalachian State, we already mentioned that game with that steam to the under. This game is also moving to noon Eastern and 9 a.m. Pacific, just 2 hours from now. So it's not like they hopped in a plane. They just, I just didn't have the information. Maybe you already did here, but I'm just seeing it right now. It's not like they just said, hey, we got to go this morning. Well, maybe they did, but I'm just seeing it here right now. So UL Lafayette and Appalachian State and UL Monroe and Marshall there are going to be at noon Eastern and 9 Pacific. So just to get that information clear here in those games, we are seeing those time changes here right now there with those two games, just to take note here. Okay. And we'll keep you posted on that. But now there are 4 early games right now. Okay, let me go to this one here. Warriors and Mavs in this one. And like I said, I mean, could Clay? I mean, why wouldn't they try to go after Clay? Clay obviously has felt uncomfortable in Dallas. They don't really need him, right? I mean, Dallas isn't going anywhere. It's too early to rule anybody out here, but they've got a lot of growing to do. And, why not put the Splash Brothers back together here? They need a guy to make up for Jimmy Butler being out for the rest of the season right now. So anyway, Warriors are favored here on the road by 5 5 here, and the total 235 or so on some widely reported steam, as we said, that came in. Let me update that. I'm also showing some 5.5s even out there right now. So the move has been on the Warriors here a little bit
Critical
in this
notice.
one. There's that time change coming in right now. I don't know if it's, like I said, it's not a situation here where they obviously knew it, but the gambling gods didn't, apparently. So anyway, for the Warriors here, Big Al is probable in this game for Dallas. D'Lo is questionable. Gafford is questionable here. PJ Washington is probable amongst those other long-term injuries. We're going to stop mentioning Anthony Davis, but just maybe one more time, I'll say he's out, of course, for indefinitely. And let's go with you guys in the chat, see what you have here on this one. Golden State coming on the road here to take on Dallas here tonight. A big favorite on the road. Warriors coming in 25-20, but like I said, they're depleted of one of the best, Jimmy Butler out for the season, but what would the spread been with him? I mean, this looks like he's in the lineup almost the way this line has come out. Hey, here's New Hampshire taking some steam right now against Binghamton on the extra board. New Hampshire was a 7.5 point favorite. They just took some steam here right now, and they're up to 9. New Hampshire's up to 9 in their game against Binghamton. All right, so anyway here, Dallas has also won 3 in a row coming in, so that's another factor here. Dallas playing up some good run here right now with wins over Utah twice and the Knicks. Of course, they beat the Knicks on the road there for a little winning streak. For the Warriors here, they're coming off that loss to Toronto at home, 145-127. That stopped their winning streak, and that was, of course, the first game without Jimmy Butler. So Warriors here, they've won and covered 4 of their last 5 coming in, although they've failed to cover in 8 of the last 12 meetings here with Dallas Mavericks. Dallas has won 4 of their last 5. They're 9-2 against the spread in their last 11 games at home. Also, Dallas has gone under in 7 of its last 10. While the Warriors have gone over in 4 of their last 5. But like I said, that steam came in a little bit on the over here for sure. Let's see what you have here. The Warriors have taken the action here, but man, let's see. They're not an addition by subtraction with Butler, are they? Let's see what you guys have here in this one. Did I miss all those plays there? Okay, here we go. Personal accounts got some plays in there. Hey, Austin Peay's taking the steam right now in that early game against Florida Gulf Coast. Austin Peay was a 5-point favorite, and they're taking some steam right now on that early game here at 1 Eastern and 10 Pacific. Austin Peay's up to a 7-point favorite at Bet Online right now. They were 5.5 here at some of the others. Big steam here on Peay. Go Peay. Rockets, Mavs, and Wizards for personal account. Here's a bar, wants the over as well. And this spread should be 4.5, but the moves come in here. Like I said, Terrell's on Dallas and a money line sprinkle. The Warriors, with that, he thinks that injury to Butler here is going to kind of affect him. 9 Legacy wants the Mavericks here. Greg says I think he's going Mavericks here. And Terrell says Clay could come in and, be that designated shooter to come off the bench, right? I mean, I just want to see it happen. I mean, there's been no talk about it. I'm just talking to talk, but it does seem like something that everyone would love to see. I mean, come on. The Warriors are going to be hard-pressed to get anything done in the playoffs. Might as well have some fun with it. They could pull a game or 2 off where they could have some excitement, right? R. Thompson's on the under, though, here in this one. Fernando's got a prediction in the game. He likes the Warriors to rock here against the Mavericks tonight. All right. Well, I'm going to try the Mavericks here. They're the team that's covering here right now, and I want to see what the Warriors do. I mean, look, it's going to affect this team. I mean, look, the Warriors coming in, I mean, they're not, dominating here. I mean, they are 25-20 here right now, and Dallas having a pretty bad season, but they're covering some numbers. I'm going to try Dallas here with the first game without Butler out there. All right, let's keep it moving here right now in the NBA tonight. We've got the Bulls taking on the Timberwolves in this one with Chicago. Coming in here, a dog to the struggling Wolves. The Wolves have lost 3 in a row. The Bulls have won 2 in a row right now. Minnesota with consecutive losses here too. Utah, San Antonio, and Houston. Oral's getting steamed. Talked about our Oral Roberts parlay in there. Oral taking the steam here right now against North Dakota. Oral's getting 1.5 points here, but this one's going to be at least a pick 'em here right now. Maybe even Oral could be moving to a favorite. Yes, Oral Roberts is now a 2-point favorite in their matchup with North Dakota. All right, so let's keep it going, though, right now with breaking this one down between Chicago and Minnesota here on Thursday. You know, Chicago, remember, they're the underdog that you love to play here right now. I mean, they're 15-7 as an underdog. This is the role where you usually want this team. Youngstown State is taking some steam here in their game against Green Bay tonight. Youngstown State was a 6-point favorite. Now they're taking some steam here for their matchup tonight here with Wisconsin, Green Bay, and Youngstown's up to 7.5 right now in their matchup with Green Bay. All right, so the Wolves with consecutive losses here to Houston, San Antonio, and Utah. They did cover against the Spurs as a dog. For Chicago here, wins over Brooklyn and the Clippers. Remember, the Bulls rocked the Clippers at home, 138-118. But the Bulls, remember, they continue to be a great underdog here, 15-7 ATS as an underdog for the Bulls. Meanwhile, Minnesota 14-20 against the spread as a favorite. It's really a terrible roll for them here. These two teams did meet back in December. Chicago lost 138-101 in that one, and really got crushed there in that game. But let's see what you have, though, in this one. Chicago comes in here having won 4 of its last 6, covering 4 of its last 6. Minnesota's 2-4 straight up and against the spread in their last 6 games overall. Chicago's gone over in 4 of their last 5. Minnesota's gone over in 5 of their last 7, and 9 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams have gone over. The winning team in this series is averaging here over the last 5 games 131 points. Let's see what you guys have in this one with Chicago on the road here taking on Minnesota. And I'll report one more steam move. We're having a great time with the steam today, man. South Florida taking the steam in their matchup here with UAB. South Florida was getting the points here. This is in our preview, but South Florida was laying 2 points here in this one. And right now they are moving higher here in the matchup with UAB. They're up to a 3-point favorite right now. South Florida taking that steam here. All right, one more time change here, I do believe. Let me report one more to you right now. The game between Central Arkansas and West Georgia has been moved from 10 Eastern and 7 Pacific, just move back to 90 minutes. 90 minutes. It'll now be at 5:30 Eastern and 2:30 Pacific time. That's Central Arkansas and West Georgia moved back 90 minutes there right now. So who knows? We might have some more of those. We'll go in here. But no, let's not interrupt us here with our match. I guess I'm on the Bulls. I mean, I'm going to take the Bulls here. We've been rolling with them as a dog. This is the role you kind of like them in. Yes, the Wolves are the much better team for sure, but Chicago's been a terrific underdog here covering nearly 70% of the role here as a dog. And meanwhile, like we said, for Minnesota, they've struggled here as a favorite, just 14-20. Now, Josh Giddey, his status has improved here. Don't know if he's quite ready yet. He's still questionable, but this is probably as close as he's been, obviously, to making this lineup. So Patrick Williams is questionable here for the Bulls. So they have a couple guys listed, but I'm going to try him here, +9, +9.5. Let's go to the chat for this one, and it will be AOD is going to take some oral. Greg here, these got the Minnesota here. He likes Minnesota here and over, it looks like, in this one. And also, we've got Greg says Minnesota to smack them down tonight. Terrell says if you got no Giddey, you got to go with Dosunmu again. He just copied and pasted this one. This has been so money right here. No props yet, but he's been hitting it. VAR here is on the Bulls. And Nine Legacy says these two teams seem to play each other a lot. They do seem to, but they only meet twice a year. If you think about it, you'd think that these two teams would be in the same division, right? I mean, Chicago and Minnesota, but they're not. I mean, Chicago's in the Central there and whatever, the Midwest, whatever these things are called nowadays. R. Thompson's on the Bulls here. Greg says Minnesota covers. Robert's on the over here in this one. You got to think this is going to be a wild, high-scoring game, don't you? And Greg says if Edwards doesn't play, Chicago's going to cover. Yeah, I don't see any indication that Edwards is even on the injured list right now. So let me know if you guys know something I don't about Ant Edwards here. You guys had one the other day where I try to pride myself on the injuries, and somebody had mentioned in the chat, this guy is, and then sure enough, he popped up there and was out. So that's why I got the best. Everybody claims to have the best chat, but hey, this is a show the pros watch, and it ain't for me. All right, let's see what you guys have in the chat right now for this one with the Spurs taking on the Jazz here in Utah. And hey, you got these Jazz that love to cover numbers at home. Yeah, they were on a 4-game losing streak, but they just snapped it here with a win over Minnesota the other night, 127-122. Played well, beat the Wolves. How about that? They are going to be missing Lauri Markkanen, I do believe, here once again. So Markkanen will still be out right now. It hasn't really affected the spread. If anything, the move has been on the Jazz in this one. We got Keontae George is questionable, Sensabaugh questionable, Georges Niang is out, and Kevin Love is probable. For San Antonio, Luke Cornett questionable, and Sohan is questionable as well here for the Spurs. Spurs had a 3-game winning streak snapped last time out with a loss against Houston, 111-106. Let's hear about what you guys say in this one in the chat between Spurs and Jazz here. San Antonio's won 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams. Utah has lost 4 of their last 5, but they've covered 6 of their last 9. Meanwhile, for San Antonio, they've won 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams, although they are just 1-4 ATS in their last 5 overall. San Antonio's gone under in 9 straight road games and 10 of their last 11 overall. These two teams did meet just 3 days ago, and it was 123-110 in favor of the Spurs. They also met in December. Spurs won that one by 13, but Utah covered, getting 14.5. So let's see what you guys have in this one with the Spurs and the Jazz here tonight in Salt Lake City. Like I said, Jazz, yes, you want Markkanen in there, but also feels like they just keep covering here a little bit. They kind of took the steam in this one. So let's see what you got. What's the total here? Down to 237 in this one. All right. Here comes comments from the chat. All right, let's see here. Oh, our Tom said we had the. I took the Sixers to win in that game. All right, Let's see here. Robert's on the Jazz here in this one, plus those points. And the Gibson ratings here, I think, favors San Antonio in this one, and the under. Groovy Aliens here today. He's got the Rockets on the money line. It's the play of the day and the pay of the day. Thank you to the Groovy Alien. All right. Hey, I'm going to try the under here in this one with San Antonio and Utah tonight. I'm on the under here with this matchup. It's been all under city for the San Antonio Spurs here of late. And I'm going to try it again tonight. Take the under with San Antonio and Utah. Nine Legacy says George over in his points and assists, and also Champagne over 2.5 threes. Greg's got a Warrior Spurs Minnesota Magic parlay on the money line. All right, we're making good progress here. We just got 2 games left of the NBA. The Heat are at the Trailblazers here. Miami coming in 23-21. Portland has found their way to 500 at 22-22. They've won 3 in a row right now with wins here over consecutive wins over Sacramento, the Lakers, and Atlanta. So good run here for Portland right now, 3 in a row. Miami's coming in off of a road win at Sacramento. They won also against Oklahoma City a few last week. So look, Miami's playing well, but this is usually Portland right now. Good run here. Just, I don't know, man. I'd rather at least get a few points if I'm taking Portland. I got to think Miami might be the side. But let's see how you have it in this one, and I'll make a pick as well. Maybe I have to go to the total here. But for Miami here, they've won and covered 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams. But Portland's won 8 of their last 10. Miami's gone 4-2 ATS in their last 6 games. They also beat Phoenix here about 9 days ago. So they've won and covered 3 of their last 5. Portland's gone under in 13 of their last 17 games overall. Miami's gone over in 5 of their last 6. Portland is 12-4 to the over as a favorite here, but the steam came in on the under, and I might have to respect that steam actually coming in. These two teams did meet already once this season. It was Miami winning 136-131 as a 3.5 point dog. That was a regulation final and a wild one there. So I don't know. Maybe it will be a high scoring game, but let me hear from you in the chat in this one with the Heat and Portland here on Thursday night. All right, Greg is going to lead it off here. He's got the Heat on the road here to win it. Robert's on the under here. Number just feels way too high. I know that was a 247-point game, but also note in that one the total was also this high. This series has never been this high. Usually when these two teams have met, the total has always been around between 210, 220 points. Art Thompson's on the under here. Greg says Portland can't beat him and the wrong team's favored. Okay, that's good enough for me. Give me the Heat tonight. I'll take them. Give me Miami on the road here. Look, I like what Portland is doing, but I thought the Heat would be favored here in this one. Portland's starting to take the action here, actually. Let me see what they might actually be. No, 1.5. That seems fine. The total, though, is down here for sure. That might be the better play here, that under, but I'll just go with Miami here in this one over Portland on the road tonight. I'm taking the Heat. And Nine Legacy likes the Heat as well. All right. Well, big game tonight between the Lakers and the Clippers. Did anybody get a chance to read that ESPN.com article that I mentioned came out while we were on the air yesterday, talking about how Jeannie Buss is basically estranged from her family that she was partners with since their dad passed away, and basically have made sure that she takes care of Rob Pelinka and the Rambuses and all the other important players in the front office with the Lakers, and basically just trying to kick the family to the curb, trying to buy them out, trying to settle their percentages of the team. We know Walter is Mark Walter's the owner now, majority owner of the Lakers. Hopefully, better things ahead. The Busses have just fallen apart here. Really, not really fulfilling their father's wishes. It's really quite disgusting what's gone on there. Look, I think Jeannie Buss, she's a master of you know her public image, and as much as she's been revered and admired from afar, it really looks like she's the one that's kind of driven this situation, and where not even LeBron likes her anymore, apparently. Kind of throwing the blame around when LeBron brought in Russell Westbrook in and the team was terrible there. Remember, there was a time when the Lakers over 3 or 4 seasons they were only winning 20 or 30 games there for a couple of years when things were just starting out. And then, of course, they got Anthony Davis and went on to win the COVID championship there. But since then, I mean, look, they're still 26-16. Let's not belabor it here. They're the better team record-wise over the Clippers, who are 19-24. But the Clippers got a lot of momentum here right now. They did lose their last game, but they're really were kind of in their second hot winning streak here over since basically the turn of the calendar right now. And despite how the record looks overall, the Clippers here have actually won 6 of their last 7 and covered 12 of their last 14. They've covered 8 of their last 9 games at home. Interestingly enough, I may have been on the doomsday here with Kawhi Leonard. He's actually just listed as questionable in this game. Now, I figured no chance is Kawhi going to make this lineup. I thought he was going to be out for a couple of weeks here, but he came home early from the road trip. That's usually bad news. Now, I wasn't operating on any inside info. I don't have that kind of scoop. But when you come home from a road trip early, usually that's bad news, but Kawhi questionable here. Maybe he could make this lineup. The Lakers have won and covered four of the last 5 meetings between these two teams. Lakers are just 2-6 ATS, last 6 games on the road. They just did win and cover 2 straight games against Toronto and at Denver here. The Lakers have had a kind of a funky schedule here. They were at home for a couple of games. Then they went on the road at Portland, came back home at Toronto. Now they're at Denver. They're going to be playing a lot of games in a row on the road right now because this is the Grammy time of year. So they're not going to play at home here for a while, I don't think. The Crypto Center, now the Grammys moved to Las Vegas there for a year, but when they're in LA, they need a whole week to kind of like set up the stages and everything for the Grammys, so they don't play any Laker games and the Lakers end up on the road. Now this is just across town, obviously, here with this matchup against the Clippers, but Clippers are the ones with all the momentum here right now, despite the fact they lost the last game to Chicago, and they failed to cover against Washington, but still, Clippers have been on a big run here of late. They're still just 8-13 as a favorite, but they're only a 1-point favorite here right now. Lakers actually at Bovada have just moved to the favorite here right now, so we'll keep an eye on that, but the total is dropping here for sure. It's not 224 anymore. It's down here to 223 or lower. It feels like I'm showing 222.5 at Bovada, where they've moved here the Lakers to favoritism here within the last couple of minutes here right now. So that move just coming across here. So we'll see. Other books haven't followed yet, so it just could be some specific action there in that one. So let's see what you've got though here with the Clippers and the Lakers here tonight at the Intuit Dome. This is at the Clippers here with these two. Let's go to the chat. All right. Luca will win. No Leonard, says Greg. Let's see what other injuries actually there. I find it hard to believe that Kawhi would make this lineup right now. I would think we're going to get bad news on this one, but let's see here. Austin Reeves, he's still out. Thero is out. He's been out. DeAndre Ayton probable. So not a lot going on here with the injured list. And LeBron didn't make the All-Star game. A lot of people can use that maybe as a talking point for a handicap, but let's see here. Right. Well, Nine Legacy, you know what? That's what happened, right? That's Jeannie maybe let that she was definitely given the authority, given the majority, and she basically, as Janie Buss, her sister, said, she fired us. She fired us all. She fired the whole family. All right. R. Thompson's on the Lakers here. And let's see, Greg says the Lakers in Denver game. The Lakers are playing. VAR is on the over here. Nine Legacy, Lakers on the money line. And Robert's on the under here as well. Timmy Two Shoes here today. And he likes Harden to have a strong game. All right, I'll make my call here in this one with the Lakers and the Clippers tonight. The funny thing is the Lakers keep showing up and showing out a little bit, right, in some of their games right now. Really inconsistent. They throw in a clunker, and I if anything, they've been kind of that team where I'm like, I don't know what this team is doing half the time, but maybe that means I'm supposed to stick to the total here. Give me the under here in this one of the Lakers and the Clippers tonight at the Intuit Dome. I'll take the under in this one. That's it for the NBA. Thanks a lot, everyone, for that. Let's go here to college basketball. And again, we have all these early starts. I picked just one of the games on the early starts. They're not great games, so hopefully that's okay. But I did figure one out that we could check out anyway today, and I thought it was the best of the group. And it's on the extra board here with Florida Gulf Coast Credit Union taking on Austin P in this one. We already saw that steam come in on Austin P here just a short time ago, so I got to update this line. It's I'll call it 6.5, but like I said, it is 7, maybe juiced Gulf Coast over at Bovada. Total here about 155.5 here with this matchup. So take a look at these teams here. And again, on the time change here, Florida Gulf Coast comes in here 8-11. Austin P, meanwhile, comes in here 11-6. P's been hot of late.
Steam play.
Little steam coming in here real quick we're in the college basketball segment after all. South Alabama and James Madison. We saw the steam come in on James Madison already, and now here comes the steam on the under. It was 139.5. Steam's coming in here in this one between South Alabama and James Madison. The total is dropping here to 137.5. Steam to the under, South Alabama and James Madison. All right, so all right, Austin P here has certainly been hot here of late. They had their winning streak snapped, however, last time out against Lipscomb. Before that, they had rolled through some conference competition. These two teams have already met also in their first meeting. It was just 2 weeks ago, and Austin P won at Florida Gulf Coast 82-71. P got the win and the cover. They were a 3-point dog in that game. Right now, Austin P. They are 5-1 in conference play. That's what made that important game to Lipscomb. Lipscomb also 5-1. Which already you guys mentioned Queens. I think Terrell did in the chat. Queens undefeated at 7-0 here. Florida Gulf Coast is 2-4 here right now. You know, P's got really two great players in Collins and Parker. They should be the better team here. They obviously are taking the steam here right now, and that does make it a little bit tough to lay these points, but they are the better team. But the spread has definitely gone up at least 2 or 2.5 points. I don't know. With the time change, I don't know how that's going to necessarily affect things here. I think I want to take Gulf Coast at these increased points. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to take Gulf Coast here in this one, plus the 6.5 right now. I think that's the way to go for me. Give me Florida Gulf Coast against P here, plus the points to hang in there today. Yeah, you could say it upsets the routine, more of a road team a little bit, but I don't know. Seems like we've seen some of these early games of the road team is coming through. Let's see what you got here in this one, if anything. All right. VAR's on the under. Roberts on the under. Here is over, it looks like, for Greg. And Terrell says, yeah, look at that move right there. I'm going to take Florida Gulf Coast here in this one. All right, here's that good one right here. South Florida and UAB. Here you got South Florida. They just took the steam here on the road. Let me update that. 3-167. Let's see. Did I put any more points on there? 3-167 here. South Florida took that steam just a short time ago. Okay, yeah, maybe South Florida. Maybe it's a spot for them here in this one. For South Florida here, they come in right now on the road here at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. Big card here. A lot of 7 o'clock games. South Florida comes in here 11-7. They've won 3 out of their last 4. They're coming in off a loss to Wichita. 86-85 as a 7.5 point favorite. This series has been dominated actually by Alabama Birmingham over the last couple of years for sure. Alabama Birmingham has won several in a row in this series. In fact, these two teams did play their first meeting at USF, and Alabama Birmingham won 109-106 as a 6.5 point favorite. That game did go into double overtime there, but still UAB's been the team that's won, been the team that's won this series for the most part here so far. So let's see here what you think with South Florida and UAB. South Florida lost here to Wichita, as I said, to snap a 3-game losing streak. Meanwhile, for UAB, they're coming off of a loss to Tulsa, 99-75 as a 1.5 point favorite. That stopped a 2-game winning streak. They had wins over East Carolina and Tulane. So let's see how you have this one here between South Florida and UAB. There we go. Currently in the American, South Florida is 3-2. UAB is 3-3. This is the only game in the American tonight. All right, I'm going to the chat for your plays here. And it's going to be, and VAR is on UAB +2. Also here, James Parham. Hello to James Parham today. He likes South Florida on the money line. The Gibson line here says 85-83 USF. R. Thompson's on UAB. And South Florida on On the spread. I think that's supposed to be on the spread. South Florida on the spread. Robert going over here in this one. We've definitely seen some movement on the total in that game for sure. It was 167.5, bounced back to 166.5, and then back up here right now. So, all right. Look, I'm already on. I'm going to take UAB in this one. I was on a show last night. I was willing to take 2 points, so I guess I'd be willing to take 3 now with the move on South Florida. Give me UAB in this one. I'll take the Blazers again to win again against these guys. Like I said, it's been the Blazers series for sure over the last couple of seasons. They've won them all. Okay, let's continue on here. Next up, Merrimack taking on Iona in this one. So let's take a look at the MAAC standings right now because Merrimack is in first place at 8-1. They're currently tied with St. Peter's, and Iona comes in here at 4-5. Now, Siena is taking on Marist in another good game. Both teams are 6-3, but let's look at first place Merrimack here in the matchup against Iona here today. Merrimack comes in here 12-8 overall. They've won 2 straight here in conference play with wins and covers over Marist and Quinnipiac. For Iona here, they've lost 2 in a row with losses to Ryder and St. Peter's. Merrimack's been pretty good so far. ATS, they're 12-8 ATS overall, 4-1 against the spread as a favorite. By Iona's done a nice job here as well with CJ Anthony leading the way. They are 6-3 ATS as an underdog. Of course, Merrimack has Player of the Year candidate Kaver Kennedy here. So let's see what you got here in this one. These two teams met last season, and it was at Merrimack. No, it was at Iona. Merrimack won 77-70 on the road, and they covered as a 1.5 point dog in that one. So, all right, we'll go to the chat here with this one between Merrimack and Iona here. That move has been so solid to the under, and you're talking about 2 teams that, like I said, when that steam came out, these 2 teams are a combined 14-26 to the under so far this season. So the move is clearly in. In fact, it's down to 139.5 right now. Oh man, well, this was going to be close to a premium. I'm just going to go with the under. I mean, this thing's look. If it goes over this number, then bad. Shame on me. This opened as high as 145. It's down to 139.5. I'm just going to take the under here in this one. No value here, that's for sure. But like I said, these 2 teams combined 14-26 to the under. Iona 3-6 to the under as a home dog, and Merrimack 5-9 to the under on the road. 1-4 to the under as a favorite. They are still favored here right now, and I'm going to go under 139.5. Oh boy, a lot of pressure to the under in this one for sure. Robert's going under. Greg here, he likes the over here in this one, and it looks like he prefers Iona at home. Yeah, this might not be the same Iona right now, but look, they are, after all, a 12-8 overall. R. Thompson's on the under, Barr is on the under, Iona 4-9 Legacy. Robert likes Merrimack here on the money line. Greg says it goes under, and Merrimack's a loser. All right, here, this one pretty good also between William and Mary hosting Wilmington here. Wilmington is maybe got some steam here real quick. Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, and Santa Barbara. Some steam to the under here in this one. It was 160. We're seeing some steam right now coming in, and it's down to 158.5. Steam to the under here with Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, and Santa Barbara. Hey, we've got 5 dozen of you in here right now watching, and our next game is Wilmington taking on William and Mary here. So look, this seems like a pretty good one here right now. With mostly want to just talk mostly about Wilmington here. They are 17-2 straight up right now, 6-0 in conference play. William and Mary's 12-6, and 3-3 in the Colonial. So far, Wilmington's got such a good team. They're really a cohesive team. They don't really have a great uh, standout player here. Just a good core group of guys. Patrick Wessler leading the way, and Nolan Hodge as well. So a good, solid team, and they are playing extremely well right now. They're not covering very well, but that's usually because they're favored by a bunch of points. Here they're in a pick'em against William and Mary. Wilmington has all these wins here right now, and not only that, they've won. So they played Campbell. They won by 3. They were favored by 6.5. They played Stonehill. They won by 4. They were favored by 7.5. They played Northeastern and got the money, but before that, they played Hampton. They won by 4 as a 13.5 point favorite. That was that bizarre 49-45 game. They also played a low scoring game against Drexel, 65-53, won by 12. They were favored by 12.5. So Wilmington just can't get the money. That's all there is to it. They win, but they don't cover. But here they don't have to cover. They just got to win. It's a pick 'em in the matchup with William and Mary here. William and Mary coming off of a win over North Carolina A&T. They were favored by 13.5, lost and won by only 8. Before that, they lost as a favorite to Monmouth and to Drexel. They also lost to College of Charleston as a 2.5 point underdog on the road, but still they failed to cover in 4 straight games here right now. So it does seem like Wilmington is still much the best here right now on top of the standings. And yeah, maybe William and Mary's had some moments here already this season doing a good job, but I don't know if I want William and Mary here in this one against this Wilmington team. It does feel like William and Mary is kind of the wise guy team a little bit, mostly because I think if you look, I'm a guy that looks at this ATS spread as the main thing, right? You guys are on this show with me. I love the reason why, and Ramon does. He looks at the ATS records too. To me, ATS record is the only real perception of the public's previous perceptions of the game, right? That's what ATS is all about. So we want teams that cover, but it doesn't always tell the story. William and Mary's 11-5 against the spread. They're 5-1 against the spread at home, and Wilmington comes in here 6-11 ATS, having covered just one of their last 9 games overall, and they're 2-5 ATS on the road. So if you look at the spread in this, the spread mix, if you will, as I like to call it, you basically have William and Mary like a plus 11. They're 11-5 ATS, and Wilmington 6-11 ATS, and they're both pretty good at winning. This is only, well, let me see here. It's a pick 'em, or is it? I was going to say Wilmington hasn't been an underdog but once this season, but I don't think they're actually an underdog in this game. I still think they are at least a pick 'em here right now. No, they're an underdog. Yeah, 1 or 1.5 or 2. So this will only be the second time that Wilmington has been favored here, or been an underdog here this season. So let me go to the chat here before I make my mind up. But I think probably just going to roll here with this dog on the road. Go to the chat though here. All right. The Gibson ratings are on Wilmington here to win it outright. And Robert's on the Seahawks, the Wilmington Seahawks, not the Seattle Seahawks. And did you know that the guy who named the Seattle Seahawks actually won a contest when he named the Seahawks? The Seattle Seahawks did a contest to see, come up with the best name. I think you got it right. Seattle Seahawks. Who didn't come up with that? And they gave him season tickets, right? And here we are. It was 50 years later or whatever, right? Or 49 years, however long the Seahawks has been. You'd think they'd still give him season tickets for such a great nickname, but no. And when someone found out last week that the man who named the Seattle Seahawks did no longer have tickets to the game, well, at least the Seahawks got it right, invited him to the game. But you got to give this guy lifetime season tickets. He came up with one of the best sports name, Seattle Seahawks. I mean, come on. That's a perfect name for a team. All right, William and Mary for the upset. Greg's cousin played at Iona. All right. The Nine Legs says, yeah, not really an upset here. Terrell says he'll go with UNC. Terrell was going to be typing in UNC, and it automatically went to Uncle. So it's Uncle Wilmington. He'll take him on the money line. All right, I'm going to take him too. I'm gonna take him here. I was on a show last night, and I was willing to take him at a pick 'em. I think I'm going to be willing to take him at +2 here. All right. Next up, got a couple more here. Got a few more here today, and then we've got hockey to go still. Maybe we'll be able to lead into those noontime games. Hey, Arkansas State taking on Georgia Southern here. Another important game here today with Arkansas State, a road favorite. Right now here, they're favored by 2, total 170. It might be 176, actually. At least 175.5. It's definitely ticked up here.
Steam play.
Ooh, we got a steam play in the background. Let's see what we got here before we get to this one. Eastern Kentucky in their matchup today. They're taking some steam. Eastern Kentucky was a 6-point favorite in their matchup with North Florida on the road, but right now we're seeing Eastern Kentucky moving higher here. They're up to a 7.5-point favorite right now in that matchup. Eastern Kentucky taking the steam here on the Morning Steam Show. But I'm talking Arkansas State basketball here in their matchup with Georgia Southern here today. And look, this one's a relatively important game right now. Take a look here at the current standings. Let me get those real quick. All right, here we go. All right, for Arkansas State here in this, keep losing my place here. All right, gang, sorry about that. All right. Right now, current standings here are Troy 7-1, Arkansas State's 4-3, Georgia Southern is 5-2. So you got 2 of the top 4 teams going here in this one. Actually, there's a 4-way tie for 4th place right now. Troy is off here, so someone could get Georgia Southern there right now here. Basically a game and a half back. They could pull to within a game of first place Troy in this one, but it's closely rated on the road here with Arkansas State favored by 2 here on the road, and the total in this one is at 175.5 here right now with this one. See what you guys have in the chat here with this one. Arkansas State comes in here with a record of 12-7. Georgia Southern is 13-7 coming in. Arkansas State has lost 2 straight right now, losing to first place Troy and to South Alabama. Georgia Southern, meanwhile, is off of a loss to Coastal, 79-78 at home as a 6.5-point favorite. They're not really playing that well right now, Georgia Southern. Here, they failed to cover in a couple of wins here, actually, of late. Arkansas State comes in here 10-7 against the spread overall. Georgia Southern is 8-1 straight up at home, but they are just 2-5 straight up as an underdog. Meanwhile, Arkansas State 8-4 straight up as a favorite, but still, you're looking in conference play here. Georgia Southern looking to turn it around. These two teams, because of the conference affiliation, actually have not met now in 2 calendar years here right now, but they're going to be playing this one here tonight. All right, let me go to the chat in this one, mid-major Thursday, and I'm all over the place here, but let's see what you guys got here with Arkansas State taking on Georgia Southern here tonight. Arkansas State comes in having won 9 of their last 13 right now. They've also, though, gone just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5. Like we said, Georgia Southern really strong at home. They've also won 10 of their last 12. It's just that sometimes they're favored by a few too many points, and that's kind of cost them in the spread department. Yes, they have lost 2 of their last 3 now, but still have won 10 of their last 12 overall and 11 of their last 13 at home. 8 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams have gone under here. Arkansas State has covered 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams, but again, these two teams have not met in 2 years. Let's see what you got here in the chat. It's going to be Arkansas State for 9 legacy. It's going to be Bar on Arkansas State. Greg here, right on with the number. James Parm. You guys are all over Arkansas State, except for Robert. He's on Georgia Southern here. Robert also on the over in this one. Our Tomps is on the over as well. I'm taking Georgia Southern here in this one, plus the points. This one should be pretty tight. I'm going to grab a couple of points at home with Georgia Southern. Yeah, Arkansas State has this series. I'm not going to say just because they haven't played in 2 years, but we'll say this. The two teams are combined 21-14 to the over. Man, that is a high total. I get it here, but I just hesitated a little bit, and I think maybe it is a little too high. I mean, even though these two teams are over teams, Georgia Southern 4 overs and 4 unders at home, and meanwhile Arkansas State 6 overs and 6 unders as a favorite. So I'm just going to take Georgia Southern here in this one. All right, I got another nice one here, if I may, with Arkansas Little Rock taking on Southeast Missouri State. This is why hopefully you're with me here on the morning steam, right? I mean, we want to look at small, mid-major conferences so that when we get to March, we know we bet on these teams or against these teams, right? Coming in, that's how we look at it here. So let's look at this one with Arkansas Little Rock taking on Southeast Missouri State. In this one, Southeast Missouri State, let me update the line there. We said that steam came in on them earlier and moved this line from 5 up to 6.5 here right now, and the total, I believe, is still 147. Well, maybe 148 right now. It's definitely 6.5, and we'll call it 148. There we go. Between UALR and Southeast Missouri State. We're out of the 7 o'clock block here right now. We're at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific in this one. UALR comes in here with a record of 9-10 in this one. Southeast Missouri State is 10-10. UALR has won 4 straight games right now here in conference play and looking pretty good. Wins over SIU Edwardsville, Lindenwood, Eastern Illinois, and Western Illinois, and they're covering them like nobody's business here of late for UALR. They are not only winning, but they're also getting the numbers. Right now, the OVC standings have Tennessee Martin atop at 7-2. Little Rock is 6-2, just a half a game back, and Southeast Missouri State is 5-4, but they are at home here favored kind of big time, right? These two teams have not yet met this season. Last year, they met actually 3 times, including once in the postseason tournament. Southeast Missouri State won at UALR 57-45 as a 4.5 point dog, but UALR won at Southeast Missouri State 73-71 as a 2 point dog. When they met in the conference tournament, when it means more, it was Southeast Missouri State that won 78-59 as a 3 point favorite. So they are favored here. There's no doubt that Little Rock is higher in the standings here currently with just 2 conference losses, and they probably have the best player on the court in Jonathan Lawson. Here, UALR just 4-8 ATS as an underdog, but SEMO is just 2-5 ATS at home. So lesser of two evils here, maybe. UALR has been going over here quite a bit of late. They're 8-2 to the over in their last 10 games. Overall, they're also 7-5 to the over as a favorite here. So, all right, I just want to get this one in there and look at some of the contending teams right now here in the OVC. Obviously, Arkansas Little Rock is within striking distance. They've won 7 of their last 8 and covered 5 of their last 7. Southeast Missouri State has still won 8 of their last 12 overall, and they've been pretty good here in conference play over the last season and a half, really. Little Rock's gone over in 5 straight and over in 4 of their last 5 on the road. Southeast Missouri State has gone under in 5 of their last 7 and 4 of their last 5 at home. Let's hear from you in the chat if you like in this one. Hope I'm not picking too boring. This is Thursday after all. Which games are we supposed to pick here today? All right, I'm going to make my call. Maybe I'll go to you guys in the chat here in this one, but I know what I like. But let me see what you guys like, and then maybe I'll go pick the spread if you guys are all over the total or vice versa. Here we go. 9 Legacies on Little Rock. Robert is on the under here. And the Gibson line has Southeast Missouri State here. This one could get ugly, he says here, actually. All right. I like the under in this one with Little Rock and Southeast Missouri State. In fact, I'm going to make the old double play here with this game. I think I've got Little Rock here and the under. Let's parlay it up for my parlay of the day here between Little Rock and Southeast Missouri State. I like Little Rock plus those points now. I'm not going to chase that steam. I'm going to fade that steam here, and I'm also going to take the under. All right, I'm going to parlay. All right, let's quickly go to the Big Sky here. Hey, I'm all in on the mid-majors here today, and we'll go to the Big Sky here currently with Weber State and Montana. You got Montana in 3rd place, 4-2. They're a game and a half back of Portland State right now. Weber also 4-2. One of these teams will get a crucial 3rd loss. Portland State is 3-0 and undefeated here right now. Of course, my man Money Williams here of Montana, he's the best player, I think, in the Big Sky, but maybe Jalen Henderson of Portland State, certainly. But for Montana here, they got Money Williams, they got the money man here in this game. You got to have a nick, I don't know if you know this, and some of you may do, but I'm also a money man. My family doesn't call me Ramon. They call me Moni. Take the last 3 letters of Ramon and put a Y on it, kind of like a child nickname there, but, well, they still call me that. He's Money. I'm Moni. Maybe I'll be Money. I'll be Mike's brother. All right, let's get it going here with Weber State taking on Montana here in this one with the Grizz, a favorite here, even though, like I said, these teams do have identical conference records at this point. Weber comes in. They have identical records overall. Both teams 10-9. Weber had a long winning streak here, snapped last time out with a loss versus Idaho, 75-67. That snapped a winning streak where they had beaten Sacramento, NAU, Northern Colorado, and Eastern Washington. Montana's coming in off of a win and cover at NAU. Montana, the one thing about their rating here right now, and maybe Montana is still the best team, but they just played 4 straight road games. They did win just 2 of them, but they got those in their back pocket a little bit. You know what I mean? They've already played some of these teams on the road, so that's something to consider moving forward. I mean, Montana, this is a closely rated conference. I don't think we know yet which team. I think Portland State, and Montana, the teams kind of at the top there. They are, I think, head and shoulders. The one disappointment, obviously, this year has been Northern Colorado. They've been a big flop for sure. They were supposed to be contenders in this conference, and they are not. Weber State comes in here 10-7, ATS 5-3. ATS on the road. That widely reported steam did come in on the over here. Still 157.5 probably. It's up to 158 right now. With Weber State and Montana, the steam came in on the over here in this matchup this morning. And maybe we'll see what you guys have in this one in a big game in the Big Sky here. Portland State does play Eastern Washington today, so Eastern Washington's just 4-14. They should take care of business there. And the other team up here, Montana State, plays Idaho State. Idaho State's 3-3. So good conference here this year. I don't think we know which team's going to really win. Maybe you guys do. All right, I'll go to the chat for your plays here in this one. Darrell and I got the same double play. I don't have I want my own noisemaker when I have the double play, but okay. Fade the steam sometimes, Greg. And Montana here for Greg. He likes the Grizz to cover here in this one, and that is a big time well, no, 2 points. Okay, but no, he likes Montana. Bobby Mack is on Weber here. He's also on the over. And Barr is liking the Grizz here in this one. This one's in Missoula. All right, I got to make my call here with you guys between Weber and Montana State, Montana and Weber here in this one. I got Weber, you guys. I got to take Weber here in this game. Give me the Wildcats on the road. Gotcha. One more here on mid-major Thursday, but look, we got to take a look at St. Thomas right now. I don't know if we have. I'm trying to think if we've taken a look at St. Thomas at all this year. They do come in here 4-1. They're a game and a half behind first place North Dakota State. South Dakota State comes in here 3-2. You know, South Dakota State's got Damon Wilkinson here leading the way, but St. Thomas, of course, has probably leading player of the year candidate in Nolan Minnesale, the sophomore here, and they are favored in this game by 7. And the total 155.5 here right now with St. Thomas coming in here. They did lose last time out, stopping their winning streak, but they lost to North Dakota State, obviously here. In that key game last Saturday. They lost 68-65 as a 2.5-point dog at NDSU. So they'll get the turnaround game there and see what happens. These two teams have not yet met this season. South Dakota State comes in just 3-7 against the spread. Their last 10 games coming in. St. Thomas are just 2-5 against the spread at home this season. But, you know, they could be favored by just too many points here, maybe is what it feels like overall. Let's see what you guys like in this one between South Dakota State and St. Thomas. And that'll be it for the college basketball segment. We get into some hockey here next. All right, go to the chat right now and see if anybody's got anything here, and that's it. Here, Twisted stopped by here today. Look at his plays. Marist, Iona, Wilmington, North Dakota, and UTEP all on the money line. Thank you to Twisted for your plays there. All right. Yes. Always great to have Twisted stopping by. Also, let's see, the Gibson ratings here has this one. I think he likes South Dakota State here and maybe the under. All right. And what else here? Robert likes the under in this one. All right. That'll do it for the. I'll come up with my play here in this one. And I'm going to grab the under here in this one between South Dakota State and St. Thomas at 155. Give me the under in this one. All right, that's going to do it for the college basketball. Let's go to hockey here right now with a 8-game card. Started off with Golden Knights on the road taking on the Bruins here in this one. You've got the Golden Knights favored now. Man, they're up to $1.45 in this one. They're definitely taking some action here this morning. Total here, 6.5 under 25. I'm also seeing now 6 over. This total's on the move too. This might be personnel or goalie related here. Let's see if we have the goalies right now, because we're seeing a move to both the side and the total right as we speak. The definitely lit up a little bit red here right now on both the side and total here. Yeah, $1.45 at Bet Online, $1.33 or $1.45 at Bovada, $1.43 at Bet Online here. So definitely seeing some movement here. Let's fire up the old goalie computer and see if that's the situation here today. Because I was showing there it would be Hill and Swayman. And it will be, okay, we do have it here. Yes, we do have it here right now within the last several minutes. And so Korpisalo is in there for the Bruins. This just confirmed here. He will start in this game. Joonas Korpisalo. Korpisalo comes in here with a 9-7 record, 3.08 goals against, and an 89.5% save percentage. So you're going to get Korpisalo, the backup here in this one, and that's caused the line on the Knights here to move a little bit. But, man, we've talked about how good the Bruins are at home. They're one of the most profitable teams at home in the league right now. I mean, yes, you're taking on the mighty Golden Knights here right now, but the Golden Knights aren't that special on the road, really. Now, both teams are playing very well, although both teams are also coming in off of a loss. The Golden Knights lost to Philadelphia at home last time out. They were on a winning streak, and that cost them, and now they're hitting the road. Boston, meanwhile, here comes in off of a 5-2 loss at Dallas, but they also were on a pretty good winning streak coming in. So both teams, come in hot. Yes, the Bruins end up going with their second-string goaltender here, but remember, like I said, you got Boston here this season easily is one of the most profitable teams in the league, second really only to the San Jose Sharks. Boston is up nearly 9 units at home so far this season. Meanwhile, Vegas on the road, they're down a couple of units this season on the road. They are 12-5-6 on the road. Pretty good record for sure, but Boston 17-8-1 at home. They've struggled on the road, but have usually get the job done at home here. So let's see what you have in this one. Look, I moved the total down there to 6 over 25, but that's pretty much the same equivalent. I also want to do one clarification here. So people were asking me, sometimes the line will appear differently on the sports money winnable premiums. That's tracked by AI. And, sometimes I'll have, -3, say it's a tennis match, or it's -3.5 at -110 or something. And the AI will pick it up as -3, -145. Well, it's not to say here or there. I want to get the right ones. It is kind of the same line usually. It's just a different. And again, uh, just because these picks, I want them to win. I want to track them all as winners, but also these are just the sides that I like. Sometimes you can ramp as well a little bit, or if I like a favorite at 4, you might take them at 4.5 for plus money, 5 for even more plus money. Again, I want you guys to have your own handicapping perceptions. Believe me, if we were making these bets here to be solid winners, they'd probably cost more. I'm on a site like that. Okay. Anyways, here we go. Let me know what you think here with the Golden Knights and the Bruins here in this one. And Boston has won 5 straight at home, 6 of their last 7 overall. Vegas has won 7 of 8. They've also won 4 of the last 5 meetings with Boston. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone over. Vegas has gone over in 11 of their last 16. And also they've gone over in 5 of their last 7 on the road here. So, all right, I'm going to take Boston here in this one. And look, they're just too good at home. I'm not down on Corpusalo. Those numbers aren't awful here. I don't know if he's much worse than Swayman here statistically. But let's see what you've got here in the chat, and we get the hockey started. The Gibson ratings has it 4-3. Robert's on that over 6. Here's Bruins on the puck line for VAR. And Greg said this will be a nice spot today. Vegas, Vegas. Now I'm taking the Bruins. Blackhawks and Hurricanes here. Oh my, look at this one. The Hurricanes are the $3 favorite. Looks like Bussy could be in here today for the Hurricanes and going up here against Spencer Knight. Freddie Anderson could be in there. We'll see. Carolina's won 3 in a row coming into this one with wins over Florida, New Jersey, and Buffalo. They only allowed 1 goal in each of those 3 games. Carolina 31, 15, and 4. One of the best teams in the league here by far. No wonder they're $3 favorite. That's actually gone up, I think, from $2.75 overnight. Here right now. Only the square books are at $3. Everywhere else is probably a little bit lower. Blackhawks come in here 20, 22, and 7. They're 20 and 26 as an underdog here right now. Carolina playing pretty well. They've also owned this series in total ownage, although the last 2 games were 1-goal games. This is the first time they've met here this season, and what can I say? They really do dominate this series. Carolina has won 8 straight meetings between the two and 9 of the last 10 meetings at home against the Blackhawks. Basically 10 years here. They're in the other conference. But Carolina's won 5 straight at home, 7 of their last 9 overall. Chicago's lost 4 of their last 6. Chicago's gone under in 4 of their last 5 games and under in 5 of their last 7 games on the road. Carolina's gone under in 4 of their last 6 games coming into this one. Chicago is 20 and 29 to the under this season and 20 and 26 to the under as a dog, although Carolina is 17 and 10 to the over at home. And let's see what you think. If it is indeed kind of a blowout here for the Canes today, what's going to happen? Go to the chat here with you guys and see what you have between Blackhawks and the Hurricanes. Should be a blowout, but, look at these 1-goal games. You always got to consider these right now. VAR likes the Hurricanes on the money line. Oh, boy. Okay. No problem. No problem. I'll take the Hurricanes on the money line there. Hey, I want you to use every tool in your arsenal here when you need them. All right, man, that's a pretty big line. I might just have to go to the total here in this one. Give me the under in this one between Chicago and Carolina here. We'll see if it's Anderson. I think it's Bussy. I mean, it doesn't really matter with this team, actually. I'll take the under. All right, next up, Sabres and Canadians. Wow, look at this one. This will sneak up on you here. Pretty good game, man. Maybe it's the game of the night. with the Sabres coming in here 27-17-5. The Canadians are 28-15-7. Montreal has won 2 in a row here right now with back-to-back wins over Ottawa and Minnesota. Buffalo's coming in off of a win over Nashville. Played great in that game against Carolina, even though they lost, and also hung in there with Minnesota. They were actually favored over Minnesota and lost it 5-4. They've been playing just great, and even though they've even lost a couple of games here of late, I don't think it's really affected Buffalo too much. Like I said, they bounced right back with a convincing win. Yeah, it was over Nashville, but it was on the road. They won by 2. So Buffalo continues to be so impressive. They have won 16 of their last 20. Montreal's won 6 of their last 7 at home and 8 of their last 12 overall. Buffalo's won 9 of their last 11 on the road. Canadians have won 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams here. Could they calm down this Buffalo team? Man, the line's too high. Oh, man, the line's gone down big time. I got to update this. I'm on Montreal. Maybe the move's on Buffalo. Maybe that is the way to go here. But at $1.20 now, pretty much everywhere. There's a few $1.25s. This thing has clearly gone down here to $1. I'm on the Canadians now. We'll see. Maybe the goaltending here has. I don't know why this line's moved here. Sam is indeed in goal for Montreal, and maybe he had a rough performance in his last game. Allowed 5 goals on 34 shots, but they still won. Remember in that 6-5 game over Ottawa. So Montembeault, look, remember he went to Laval Rocket when they brought in Fowler, and now he's back. So we'll see. With Laval, he did go 4-0-1 with a 3.0 goals against and a 90.5% save percentage. I'm on Montreal here. That's it. I'm on Montreal over the Sabres here in this one. Okay, Greg's on the Canes in that other game. Robert's on the Sabres, though, here in this one, and Greg's on Buffalo as well. Look, I've been leading the charge here with these Sabres. I can't say that. I mean, everybody's been on them, but I'm going to go with Montreal tonight. Got the Dallas Stars on the road here, taking on Columbus. NHL action Thursday. Columbus playing pretty well right now. They've been hot, actually, in Dallas. Really no signs of a recovery here, although they did win last time out, so maybe this will be it. They blasted Boston the other night 6-2, but they were having trouble scoring in consecutive losses against Anaheim, Utah, and Tampa. They scored just 1 goal in each of those games. And not only that, this Stars losing streak, this Stars downturn continuing basically since the start of the month. It seems like they've lost 10 of their last 13 games coming in and 6 of their last 8 on the road. Now they have defeated Columbus in 8 of the last 12 meetings, but Columbus has actually won 9 of the last 13 meetings between the two teams at home. Now it's a good decade and a half, pretty much of a sample size with only 1 game per year, but for whatever reason, Dallas has always had a rough time in this stop. As much as we think of Dallas as how good they've been over the last couple of years here, it's Columbus. It's won the last 2 games they won both games last year. Columbus won them both, including 6-4 here at home against Dallas. Columbus is a terrible underdog, okay? They're a 10-22 overall, so that doesn't bode well here with Dallas still being favored by a $1.20, maybe. It's not $1.25 anymore, that's for sure. It's gone down at least a nickel. So, hey, if you like Dallas, I mean, these are the times you kind of want to take them if you do want them here. But the move is on Columbus here. And like I said, Dallas not playing that well. And Columbus was just on a winning streak before they lost that last game. Like I said, they'd won 4 straight. Actually, over Utah, Calgary, Vancouver, and Pittsburgh. Not the toughest schedule in there, but they still have won them here right now. So can they top this Dallas team, though, tonight that needs more wins because they have been giving away the games here? Remember, they're still got a nice 28-13-9 record right now, which still keeps you uh, uh, tied for second place with Minnesota. Yeah, Colorado's going to be in first. Nothing you can do about that. But nonetheless, Dallas has been giving away games here. Let's go to the chat in this one right now. See what you got. Robert's on Columbus here. Greg says Dallas bounced back big and they're going to win this game for sure. I'm on Columbus, I'm afraid. Brother, hungry Columbus here, even money, maybe minus $1.05. I'm going to take Columbus right now until Dallas figures this out. All right, next up. Yeah, you got the Florida Panthers here taking on Winnipeg Jets. NHL action for Thursday night. Winnipeg coming in here off of a win last time out. They beat St. Louis to snap a 2-game losing streak. For Florida, meanwhile, they lost to San Jose at home 4-1 last time out. Oops, where's the graphic here? There we go. Florida's been a terrific underdog, but I'm rating this game as a pick'em now, huh? Yeah, maybe Winnipeg is just the slightest of favorites here, but some books have it as a pick 'em. So Winnipeg is 12-9 at home so far this season here. Look, these two teams, I mean, you think of right now, the way Florida and Winnipeg are going, you probably just gravitate to the over. The way these two teams have been going, they're a combined 56-41 to the over. Florida's 13-8 to the over on the road, and Winnipeg is 16-9 to the over at home. Florida's gone over in 10 of their last 15 and 4 of their last 5 on the road, and this series has gone over in 6 of the last 7 meetings. Winnipeg's gone over in 9 of their last 11 and 6 of their last 7 at home, and 7 of the last 9 meetings in all have gone under between these two, have gone over between these two. So let me clear that up again. 7 of the last 9 meetings have gone over between these two, and 6 of the last 7 meetings in Winnipeg have gone over. This is a dead solid over series with two teams that always go over here. But again, look, these two teams meet just twice a year. I get that. They did play. They have not played yet so far this season. Winnipeg's actually been the better, had the series advantage against these guys. Winnipeg's won 5 of the last 6 meetings overall between these two teams, but we know Winnipeg's kind of struggled here big time, and Florida kind of getting it back together a little bit. They're getting healthy too. Now, I'll give you this. I mean, Winnipeg, as bad as they've been, they did start to come back here a little bit of late. And this game's, like I said, a pick 'em here. Is it really going to, that to me, it's almost, is it a trap line here with the Jets here? Let's see what we got. Robert's on the Panthers. Greg is on the Jets. I'm going to just take the over here. I'm scared. Give me the over here with Florida and Winnipeg. Further investigation necessary because, Florida, right? Winnipeg was so bad for so long on that long losing streak, and Florida's actually come back strong here right now, 25-20-3. It feels like they're getting healthy and maybe could actually put something together here still this season. I mean, nobody's going to count Florida out, especially if they're getting healthy here a little bit. And I'll take the over in this one. All right, we just got a few more here, and the show will be over. Remember to comment in the chat so that you're eligible for the drawing here at the end of the show. We're going to pick a name to get 1 month of picks from my winnable account. Okay, here we go. Ottawa Senators on the road here taking on the Nashville Predators. Ottawa's favored in this one, $1.15, maybe $1.20, total 6.5. Shaded to the under here for sure, it looks like right now, with Ottawa coming in here off of a win. They had lost 2 straight, but beat Columbus 4-1 last time out. Nashville, meanwhile, was on one of their best, maybe the best string they were on this season, including wins over Washington, Edmonton, and Colorado. But they did lose their last 2 to BGK and Buffalo. Still, they are, kind of playing pretty well here all of a sudden for Nashville. Ottawa's had their moments as well, but they've been just 500 here mostly of late for Ottawa coming into this one. They've lost 6 of their last 9, but Nashville's won 8 of their last 11 at home. Also, 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone under, and 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams here in Nashville have gone under, although these two teams meet just a couple times per year. Ottawa's gone over in 5 of their last 7 games on the road, and Nashville's gone over in 4 of their last 5 overall here right now. So, look, Ottawa's the over team. They're 29-20 to the over this season, 16-9 to the over on the road. See what you guys want to do here. We're coming down to the end of the NHL coverage. I think Reimer's in there against Saros. Let me see here. I thought they. Yeah, I'll stick with Bobrovsky. Let's see what happens. I know a couple sites are showing Reimer in there, and he hasn't played too many games this season, so that could be an indicator that he is going to play in this game. I'm going to take the over here. Maybe he won't be in there. Give me the over tonight with Ottawa and Nashville, and I'll take your plays here. I'll go first. And let's see here. Nobody's interested in this one. We got 64 of you in the chat, but I'll keep it rolling here right now with the Penguins taking on the Oilers here tonight in Edmonton. Oh, man, how do we not get Skinner in there for the Penguins in this one? Probably good reason. Probably just have let's just go with Silovs here. We don't want to get too crazy here with these two, but nonetheless, you got the game between the big goalie trade here this season. Pittsburgh on the road, big underdog, huh? With this one, man, really? Oilers as good as they've been? You don't think Pittsburgh come in here? Maybe they should put in Skinner. Maybe he would stop the Oilers here tonight. I am showing right now. It looks like Silovs expected to be the goalie in here, and still you have Edmonton up to a $2 favorite nearly in this one. Oh, no. Oh, no. This one has gone down considerably here. Call it $1.70 or so. Yeah, so that's a discount for sure here on the Oilers. Total 6.5. Maybe shaded the under at minus 115 or so. These two teams did play their first meeting of the season. Edmonton won in Pittsburgh 6-4 back in mid-December. Pittsburgh, though, comes in here. Both teams on a pretty decent run here of late. We know Pittsburgh, man, they're 5-1 in their last 6 games at on the road. Edmonton playing better on the road than they are at home right now, but they are 2-5 in their last 7 on the road. Edmonton kind of owns this series. 8 of the last 9 meetings been won by the Oilers, but Pittsburgh's won 9 of their last 13 overall coming in, and also 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over. 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams here in Edmonton have gone over. But again, this thing was $1.95 or so, and definitely getting a bit of a discount here with the Oilers. I haven't heard any goalie information here necessarily. Now, on the injury report, you got Letang out, the defenseman for the Penguins. He's questionable here. Kapanen for the Oilers, he's out of this game. Draisaitl, maybe the deal is here, Draisaitl was anticipated that he could return tonight. Maybe that's why the line was up. He's been back home overseas, so he hasn't been in the lineup here. Maybe that's just it. Maybe they were anticipating his return tonight, and he's not necessarily scheduled to return right now. Let me take the over in this one between Pittsburgh and Edmonton. I'll go over here 6.5 goals tonight. And let's see here. Okay, maybe I'm having some technical difficulties, or maybe here we go. Power Critters here, he says go Pens. Robert's on the over here in this one. I'm having some slow computer again here. So let me just get through this with the last game of the night, and we'll end the show. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here and watching a little Dubai golf, but they're going to be teeing off soon here at the American Express. And also, we're about ready to go with some basketball action here, top of the hour. 2 games in the top of the hour and then 2 more at 1 p.m. Eastern. Red Wings and the Wild will cap it off tonight with the Red Wings here on the road. The mighty Red Wings, man, between the Red Wings and the Pistons, and man, what's going on with the Lions and the Tigers? We've got to step it up. Red Wings have won 3 in a row here right now with wins over San Jose, Ottawa, and Toronto. Nice job. Minnesota here off of a loss to Montreal. It was a good game, man. Minnesota had a chance in that one. Ended up losing it to Montreal with an exciting, man, that was a good game. But nonetheless, Detroit did play last night at Toronto, and now you're coming in here to Minnesota. But, man, the Red Wings are looking strong. 13-8 on the road. Minnesota, though, 13-6 at home here. But, man, these Red Wings are looking good here of late, aren't they? Detroit comes in here having won 7 of their last 8 and 8 of their last 12 on the road. It's Minnesota that's struggling right now. 5 straight home losses. They've dropped 6 of their last 9. Detroit's gone under in 5 of their last 7, and 4 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under, although the Wild have gone over here in 6 straight. They're 16-12 to the over as a favorite, and Detroit is 15-11 to the over as an underdog, even though they've been a bit of an under here, like I said, of late. Usually this is more of a spot where they kind of go over. So let's see tonight. Maybe the Red Wings will get it going here with Talbot and Gus expected in goal here with these two. So let's see what you've got in this matchup between Detroit and Minnesota here tonight. Yeah, the 6.5 has me interested here. I mean, it's definitely $1.25 to the under here. Let's see what you got. I can't really get to the chat here too fast because I hope I'm still on the air here. Greg says the Wild got this. Power Critter says it's a Detroit spot. Trust me, it's there. There it is. All right. I'm going to take the under in this one. I think we get a great game with these two. Give me the under tonight. I know I just kind of pointed. I thought the numbers kind of indicate the over here, but I think this is going to be a sharp game, man. I'm going to go with the under in this one. All right. That's going to do it for the morning steam. Good because my computer's dragging too much anyways here to, I got a million tabs open. They always say, don't have so many tabs open. It's going to slow things down. Well, I can't help myself. All right, that's going to do it for the morning steam. Make sure you go over to winnable.com/Ramon. Check me out with my sports money premium plays. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off all premium pick packages, including mine here today. I'm not going to run the commercial. I'm going to try to just bring up the thing right now because it's hard enough right now to get this computer to do anything. If you guys are the show is over here, but stick around here. I think we can get the drawing off here right now. All right. Oh, jeez. All right. Drawings canceled. Computers, use the promo code LIVE to get 1 free week. The browser can't access your screen. Okay. Use the promo code LIVE to get 1 free week. Everybody's eligible. I'm not just making this stuff up. The computer's going too slow. I am making it up, but I mean, going to my backup plan here. So if you want 1 free week of picks from me, use the promo code LIVE and at checkout and get 7 days of free picks from me over at Winnable. You're going to want to do it. You're going to want to do it right now because I hit a 65-1 last week with the golf tournament. And look, I'm going big again. Now, just because I hit a 65-1 doesn't mean I'm just going to play long shots all the time and hope someone hits so everybody cheers for me there. Even though I hit 1 long shot, the other 6 didn't come in, remember, but we're doing it again. And they say, hey, why are you doing it again? You think you can't hit a long shot every time? Well, you know what? This tournament, 6 of the last 7 winners of the American Express have had odds of 55-1 or higher. So we're going to go with long shots. So make sure you go over to winnable.com/Ramon to get those picks for the American Express, which is just about to start. You could even slow it down right there and maybe look. But why not just go over and subscribe for free there over at winnable.com. I'm seeing if we can. Yeah, I screwed it up. So, all right, guys. Hopefully that's okay. Had a great time with you here today, and that's going to do it for the morning steam. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Cover that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.